This is Nicole and welcome back to my channel, and today is another DIY video. I always wanted to be Pocahontas for any type of costume, and I'm going on a cruise on July 21st. The theme is Wild Wild West Night, so I did not want to buy a Pocahontas costume, so I'm making a Nikkihontas costume out of a brown t-shirt and some other supplies. So if you all are interested in seeing how I transform this basic brown tee to a Nikkihontas costume for my upcoming cruise, then please stay tuned to this video and keep on watching.
Remember how you did it, remember how you did it. If you still wanna kiss it, come and get it. Sweeter than a rice cake recipe, kill it, tip it.
So thank you for continuing to watch. The supplies you will need are a marker or highlighter. I'm using an eyeliner. You will need a pair of scissors and a t-shirt of your choice. I picked up mine from my local Salvation Army for $1. So what I'm doing now is just smoothing out the shirt to make sure it's lined up properly. What I will be also doing is cutting off the sleeves. Make sure it's lined up properly. These sleeves will be cut off, and make sure you keep both of them. They will be used later on. What I'm doing now is I'm lining the shirt off to cut off the collar. Also make sure you keep this collar when you cut it off. It will also be used later on in this project. This was a very thick t-shirt, so it was kind of hard for me to cut this off. But again, make sure you do not discard any of the pieces you will be cutting off. They are very valuable pieces to this costume. Next, I will be also cutting across where the shoulder was. That will be serving the purpose of how your costume will stay up later on in this project. This is where your drawing utensil will come into line. So what I am doing is just cutting off some of this material. When you cut off the material, try it on, put it on yourself, and make sure that you're not cutting off too much material or that you are cutting it too low. As you will see later on this video, I did cut off too much material around the sides and it was cut too low, so I don't want you making the same mistake. So remember, I told you to keep the collar. This is when you will begin to use it. So what I'm doing is cutting off the extra trim and excess material. As you can see, the collar is very stretchy. So what I'm doing is cutting small holes in each piece where I cut it at the top across. This will keep your costume together, and the small piece of collar will be used to attach it. So you're going to cut this in half so it's two pieces. As I'm doing now, you will put one piece through on one side and then you will attach one piece on the other, same with cutting the hole. So I didn't really measure this, and it does not have to be perfect. The costume is going to look rustic and it's going to look great once it's done. So I'm just going and cutting off a little bit more material because, like I said, I did not measure this. So I wanted it to be a little bit more straight. This time I put both of the material pieces together and cut the hole. So as you can see, now your costume will stay up. What I'm also doing now is lining it up, folding it in half to cut the slits on the back. This costume needed a little edge. What you see me doing here is just trying to see if I could see what size the t-shirt was. The t-shirt was old, the size wore off, so I really didn't know what it was. I think it might have been a 3X or a 4X in big and tall men's, but I don't know, neither here nor there. Back to the t-shirt. So I'm lining up to make sure I can get it as straight as I can. This was a lot of material, and I got it as straight as I can get it. And what I will be doing now is going through cutting slits. Make sure that you don't cut them too low. As you will see, I did make the mistake. You will see it later on in this video, but it still turned out cute. So cut the slits as close or as far apart as you want. After you cut them, stretch them out. This will give the costume an edgy look. So I'm going to show you all now after I get it straightened out and turned over what it does look like. I felt like I needed a little bit more of those, and again, you can customize this to your liking. So I'm just adding an extra slit in the back, and after I cut the slits, what you're going to want to do is straighten out your shirt and then stretch it more so that the slits will be a little bit more stretched out, and it just gives it so much character when you do that. So what I'm doing now is, this is where your drawing utensil will come in handy again. I will be drawing all those lines at the bottom. Now, I did not have a ruler. I didn't know where it was. So to kind of help me guide across the bottom as well as draw the lines. I have an old iPad case that I will be using. Don't judge me. It's being resourceful and using what I have. So I'm going to just start drawing the lines on the bottom. As you all can see, I'm not going to stay on camera while I do all of them, but it is a very tedious project. Make sure you don't draw them too close up at the top, so that's why I'm using this case. So as you can see, I have drawn all the lines on the bottom of the t-shirt. Now is the very important part, cutting the slits. Make sure you take your time. One wrong cut can mess up the entire bottom of the costume. All the slits have been cut. Now what you will need to do is go through and tie a knot on each slit. Now this part, you gotta take your time, because I started tying so fast that I tied both pieces together, which closed the costume in, and that's a big no-no. So I don't want you to make the same mistake I did. So I had to retie those and begin tying them again. This part does take a very long time, but please take your time. It will be so worth it and you will love the end result. I got a confession, I'm a very impatient person, but I took my time and it turned out amazing. So as you can see, the fringe at the bottom and the costume is starting to transform into something. Trust me, it is going to be so cute. So what I did was I went and started to distress the t-shirt, and I added small holes. You don't have to do this. This is optional, but I will be filling those holes with pieces. So when I initially started making the practice and making this, I tried it with a green t-shirt. So I kept the green t-shirt. What I will be doing now is making belts. I will have a green belt as well as a brown belt. This was a part of the t-shirt, which I just cut it and made a belt with it. Those were the actual t-shirt itself, but if you have the sleeves you can use that as well, but I need a big belt to go around, so I just cut the t-shirt in half, and what I'm doing now is just adding slits to make it more rustic. I did it to the green one. Now the brown one, these are the actual sleeves from the t-shirt. As you can see, those sleeves were huge, so I used a piece of fabric from the shirt to tie the sleeves in half, so it'll be a longer belt. As you can see there was a piece of the t-shirt that I cut off, and what I'm doing now is just going through and cutting more slits on the belt, making it look more rustic and ragged. That gives the costume so much character when you just, you know, customize your belt a little bit more. It's good to use more than one color when you're making your costume. So I still have parts of the green t-shirt, and I went through and just cut little strips off in different sizes, and these will be used to fill in those holes that I showed you earlier. So I'm just making sure I have enough of them. So normally, initially at the beginning, I tied the top with a brown piece, but as you can see, I will be using green. It gives it much more character and makes the costume pop. After I tie those on the top, I did kind of cut slits through on them, but it looks so much better when you add color, so I suggest you use different colored t-shirts. I'm just going through adding a piece to the other side, and as you can see, it's starting to transform and become something wonderful. So yeah, just when you add those slits at the top, just cut it and it gives it a better look. Can't you now see how this is all starting to come together? I am so excited for you all to see how this costume transforms to Nikkihontas. Yes, yes. So those slits that I cut, as you can see, I'm going in and filling in the holes. It has totally transformed this costume. So yeah, when you add that in, it kind of gives it a little bit more character. That's why I didn't overcut and add too many holes. So I'm going to go ahead and finish filling these in. Now it's time to customize the belt. I did not want no basic belt. So as you can see, each belt looks original. They are not the same, they are different, which gives it so much more character. I'm just going through making sure the belt looks the way I want it to look. Added a piece on the back so they will hang down. I'm gonna cut that off. But yes, there's the brown belt, which looks so much more rustic. There are some large pieces in there that I might go through and cut those up to make sure that looks a little bit more better. Looks more, you know what I'm trying to say, looks better. Not more better, that don't sound right. But yeah, I'm gonna go through, cut through that. So as you can see, the next thing I will be doing is adding my feathers. I have brown ones, white ones, tan ones, orange ones, and cream ones. So go through, you cut a slit through each, make sure you cut it all the way through. My t-shirt was kind of thick, so it was hard for me to cut that all the way through. But you're going to cut a slit through periodically. You don't want a feather on everyone. So after you get the feather through, I went in with super glue on the back, folded the piece of material over just so the feather stays. I chose to alternate the colors so it gives it more character. It took me a minute to figure out how I was going to get that feather to stay on there. Super glue was the best option. So I needed earrings. I had some old earrings. These were like some 3 earrings together. Took them apart. Bam, made some feather earrings out of stuff earrings I already had. Glue feathers to the front and back. Cute, cute, cute. Did not need to buy any feather earrings. Save your coins. Save your coins. Use your you already have and repurpose it. Needed a necklace. Did the same thing. This was an old necklace I had that had 5 pieces to it. Took the other 4 off. Left 1. Glued feathers to the front and back. And this is so cute. I wanted feather accessories, but I wasn't paying for it. So as you can see, I went in, added all the green pieces just like I did the belt. I'm going to go in and add pieces of the feather, and voila, the costume came to life. So I'm going to go in, add those pieces, and then I will super glue the back to make sure they stay. But yes, I cannot wait until the costume party, Wild Wild West theme, and rock my costume. I love how it turned out. The colors work so well together. The orange, the brown, the green. Cute, cute, cute. Accessories are done. No one will believe you made this out of a t-shirt if you told them. So cute. All I did was bought 1 t-shirt from the Salvation Army for $1. The bags of feathers, the large bag was $2. Did not spend any money at all on the jewelry. I already had it. I just repurposed it. Yes, I suggest if you make this costume, make your accessories as well. The final piece to this will be the belt. I'm sorry, not the belt, the headband. I got 2 bags of feathers. I'm making myself as my friend Dewayla, who I always talk about and who slays my hair. She's going with me. I'm also making her, she's going to dress like an Indian. So I'm making us some headbands. This was an old belt I got from the Goodwill. I cut it up. Those are suede pieces, which I'm going to braid and make a headband. That is going to be a separate headband that we have. I'm going to fold that over and with some tack it together with some elastic so that it stays, and then on each side I'm gonna bunch a lot of feathers together and glue it on there. But that is going to turn out amazing. So I just wanted to show you all what I have first. And again, this came from the Goodwill, so always check out your local Goodwill to see if there are any supplies that you can get to make accessories. So I'm going to braid those up, make the 2 headbands, and come back to you all once they are finished. So the headbands are now complete. As you can see, this was a 39-cent belt that I got from the Goodwill. I took it apart, cut it into pieces, and made 2 separate headbands. I braided the suede down, made it into a braided headband, and then this piece I glued feathers to the front and the back. On the back, that is a piece of the t-shirt that I had cut up later across there just so it would be something smooth on our forehead. That's the first headband done. The second one, I did the same thing, glued feathers. I had 2 older headbands that I cut the elastic off the back and reused to make these 2 headbands to make them stay. So as you can see, very inexpensive project using items that I already had, and I will be coming back to you all next with the finished look on. So my Nikkihontas costume is complete, and I love the way it turned out. As you all can see, the fringe turned out nice, the belts turned out nice. That is why I was trying to tell y'all where I cut it too low. Luckily, I can have on a black bra, you won't be able to tell. The belts turned out wonderful. I just love how everything came together. I did end up having to wear it with brown leggings because I told y'all I butchered this t-shirt like it was no other. I'm going to wear it with these shoes. The earrings turned out great. The necklace turned out great. And y'all know I had to get down in this video and do a little dance. But everything turned out wonderful. That 2 headbands turned out great. It gives it more character. I just love the back of the t-shirt. That was actually lower, but like I told you, I butchered this shirt so many times they ended up raising it up. It was not supposed to be this high, but it turned out nice. So I hope you all enjoyed messing with those feathers. I'm gonna have to fix that. But I hope you all enjoyed my DIY from start to finish of my Nikkihontas costume, and I thank you all for watching, and I will see you in my next video.